Once upon a time, in a small town shrouded in mystery, a young writer named Emma stumbled upon a subreddit titled r/no-sleep. It was a forum dedicated to sharing horror stories that were so chilling they could keep readers up all night. Emma, always drawn to the eerie and unknown, decided to try her hand at writing a story to post on the subreddit. As she typed away at her computer, the words flowed effortlessly from her mind to the screen. The story she concocted was about a haunted doll that whispered secrets in the dead of night. When she finally hit the post button, she felt a thrill of excitement run through her veins. To her surprise, the story garnered immediate attention from the Reddit community. Comments poured in, praising her writing skills and the spine-tingling nature of her narrative. Emma was ecstatic, basking in the glow of newfound fame. But as the days went by, strange things began to happen. She started receiving messages from anonymous accounts, warning her to stop writing about the supernatural. Emma brushed them off as the work of trolls, but deep down, a seed of fear had been planted in her mind. One night, while working on her next story, Emma felt a chill crawl up her spine. She glanced at the clock and realized it was past midnight. The house was quiet, too quiet. The only sound was the soft hum of her computer. Suddenly, a notification popped up on her screen. It was a private message from a user named Eternal Thread. The message simply read, "You have awoken something that should have stayed asleep. Beware the consequences." Emma's heart raced as she stared at the ominous words on the screen. She tried to shake off the unease creeping into her mind, but the feeling of dread persisted. Ignoring the warning, Emma continued to write, delving deeper into the realm of darkness and fear. Each story she posted on r/no-sleep seemed to resonate with a strange energy, as if the words she typed held a power of their own. One night, as Emma sat at her desk, a shadow flickered across her peripheral vision. She turned to see a figure standing in the corner of the room, its features obscured by darkness. Fear coiled in her stomach as she realized that she was not alone. "Who's there?" Emma called out, her voice trembling. The figure stepped forward, revealing a face twisted in an expression of anguish. It was the haunted doll from her story, brought to life in a chilling manifestation of her imagination. Emma's breath caught in her throat as the doll spoke in a voice like dry leaves rustling. "You have awakened me, writer. Now you must suffer the consequences." With a jolt of terror, Emma realized that her stories had somehow breached the barrier between fiction and reality. The horrors she had conjured on the page had taken on a life of their own, intent on punishing her for her audacity. Frantic, Emma tried to delete her stories from the subreddit, but they refused to be erased. The words remained etched into the digital realm, a testament to her unwitting pact with the dark forces she had summoned. As the days passed, Emma's sanity began to unravel. She was plagued by nightmares of shadowy figures and whispered incantations. Everywhere she turned, she felt the presence of unseen eyes watching her every move. Desperate for answers, Emma turned to the Reddit community for help. She posted a plea for assistance, detailing the horrors that had befallen her since she had delved into the world of r/no-sleep. To her shock, the responses she received were cryptic and foreboding. Users warned her that once you create a story on the subreddit, it becomes a part of the eternal thread that weaves through time and space, connecting all tales of terror in an unbreakable bond. Emma realized with a sinking heart that she had become entangled in a web of darkness from which there was no escape. The stories she had written had taken on a life of their own, and she was now at the mercy of the malevolent spirits she had unleashed. One night, as Emma sat huddled in her room, the walls seemed to pulse with a sinister energy. Shadows danced across the ceiling, whispering her name in a chorus of haunting voices. In a moment of clarity, Emma understood what she must do to break free from the curse that bound her. Gathering all her courage, she opened her laptop one final time and began to write. Not a story this time, but a plea for forgiveness and redemption. With tears streaming down her face, she poured her heart out onto the blank page, begging for deliverance from the nightmare that had consumed her life. As she hit the post button on her /no sleep, a sense of peace washed over her. The weight of the darkness that had haunted her for so long lifted, and she felt a glimmer of hope stirring deep within her soul. And then, in the silence of the night, a single reply appeared on the screen. It was from a user named Eternal Thread, whose message read, "The eternal thread binds us all, writer. Your words have power, but so does your will to choose your own destiny. Embrace the light within you, and the shadows will fade." With a newfound resolve, Emma closed her laptop and stepped out into the dawn of a new day. She knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but she also knew that she had the strength to face whatever darkness lay in wait. And as she walked away from the haunting specter of her past, a sense of peace settled over her, knowing that the power of her stories no longer held sway over her fate. The eternal thread that had once ensnared her had been broken, and she was free to write her own story, one of courage, redemption, and the enduring light that shines in the heart of every writer.